There's no doubt that the world has been following the romance between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard that went up in flames in 2016, after the actress accused her now ex-husband of domestic abuse. Now, with the defamation trial finally in session, the world is watching even more eagerly as all the intimate details of their relationship are being broadcasted for all the world to see.
And this was the opportunity where I thought, something's got to be done. It's just got to be done. I couldn't take it anymore.
The one thing that has been made clear is that their marriage was unquestionably toxic, and the trial has become a fierce battleground over the truth about their relationship. Over the first 2 weeks of testimony, the jury has heard from a string of witnesses, including the couple's former marriage counselor, their friends, and Depp himself. The testimony so far has painted an incredibly disturbing portrait of the actors' doomed marriage, laying out all the intimate details of their violent fights, drug use, and vicious words to each other.
You're crazy. Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy.
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
Oh, you got this going? You got this going?
I just started it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
Stay tuned, juicers, while we take a look back on Johnny and Amber's love story and how it all came to a shocking and disturbing end.
But I did not punch you. I did not deck you. I was hitting you.
You can't
I don't know
deck
what
me.
the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
Meeting Amber changed Johnny's life. They met 11 years ago on the set of The Rum Diary.
Wait a minute, what's your name?
Let's keep that a secret.
The movie didn't perform well at the box office and didn't earn that many raving reviews from critics. The world, however, had another reason to take out the popcorn and cheer. A little bit of magic was involved, it seems, since Depp met his future wife while filming an adaptation of a novel written by his dear friend, author and journalist Hunter S. Thompson.
And filming with Johnny Depp is not awful. Especially if you have to kiss him.
Depp plays a journalist who becomes obsessed with Heard's character, who, by the way, is engaged to another man.
And then she meets Johnny Depp and...
As fate would have it, at that time, both Amber and Depp were in relationships with other people too. The union of Depp and his then-partner Vanessa Paradis was considered to be rock solid. Johnny and Vanessa got together in 1998. They often praised each other in interviews. When asked about a potential marriage, the actress said, "I'm more married than anybody can be. We have 2 kids. Maybe one day, but it's something I can really do without." In 2010, she stressed how lucky she was to have an understanding partner in Depp, and added that they trusted each other and respected each other's personal space. In 2012, Vanessa talked to the press again, but this time she was addressing her split from Depp after 14 years together. The French singer and actress reflected on how love is simultaneously the strongest and most fragile thing in our lives. Sometimes you could be in an unhappy relationship. You're very much in love with someone, but it's making you unhappy, she said. Goodbye, Vanessa. Hello, Amber. Depp was as gentle and thoughtful while presenting his side of his split from Vanessa. In the 2013 Rolling Stone interview, he admitted that the last couple of years had been a bit bumpy and even unpleasant at times for their family. The trajectory of that relationship, you play it out until it goes. One thing leads to another.
It's not easy.
Depp's main goal was to be honest with his kids and remain civil with their mother. It doesn't stop the fact that you care for that person. And you'll always know each other, and you're always going to be in each other's lives because of those kids.
What have kids meant for you?
Kids?
Your kids?
My kids? Everything.
What do you mean?
Everything. They've certainly made me grow up, that's for sure.
Johnny Depp didn't say anything about Amber Heard in that Rolling Stone article. The two, however, had already been dating. Trying to escape the unwanted media attention, the new couple stepped out together way later, in January 2014. Johnny's engagement ring. Soon after Depp and Heard made their public debut as a couple, people announced their engagement. Amber was happy to show off her engagement ring at the premiere of her movie. Johnny, being Johnny, chose to wear his fiancée's ring for a while since it was too big for her. When he was touring Beijing, he was asked about the rumored marriage between him and Amber.
So the fact that I'm wearing a chick's ring on my finger is probably a dead giveaway, isn't it? Not very subtle.
Johnny and Amber's wedding took place in February 2015. It was a private ceremony at their, still their, LA home. By the way, Amber seemed to befriend Johnny's daughter, Lily Rose. The two were photographed enjoying each other's company, having lunch and shopping. Amber and Johnny were acting weird together. In May 2015, Depp took Amber with him to Queensland, Australia, where he was about to start working on the 5th installment of Pirates of the Caribbean. The star couple found themselves in legal trouble shortly after they arrived. The local authorities learned that the couple smuggled their Yorkshire Terriers into the country without subjecting them to the obligatory 10-day anti-rabies quarantine. The offense is punishable with a prison sentence that may reach 10 years. Australian lawmakers commented on the incident with indignation. If we start letting movie stars to come into our nation, then why don't we just break the laws for everybody? Heard and Depp had it easy. She pleaded guilty to falsifying quarantine documents, stating that she had made a mistake due to sleep deprivation. She was also placed on a $1,000 one-month good behavior bond for producing a false document. Depp would later tell host Jimmy Kimmel that they thought the paperwork on dogs was done properly. But what would Johnny do had they arrested Amber? If they did that, I'd just assault that man so that I could go to jail. Most importantly, Depp and Heard were required to issue an apology. In April 2016, the stars released the infamous cringy video where they awkwardly apologized for violating the country's biosecurity codes.
Protecting Australia is important.
Declare everything when you enter Australia.
We snorted and shook our heads at their antics.
I would like to... I'm going to do this everywhere I go. I would really like to apologize for not smuggling my dogs into England.
But we never expected a bigger storm that was already brewing beyond our cloudless Depp Heard horizon. How everything turned upside down. On May 23, 2016, Amber Heard dropped several bombshells. She filed for divorce, stated that Depp had been verbally and physically abusive during their relationship, and obtained a temporary restraining order against him. Images of the actress with a bruised eye and lip appeared in the media. TMZ obtained a video that Heard recorded where Depp was kicking and slamming cabinet doors in their kitchen. In retaliation, Depp's legal team alleged that Heard made her move because she was attempting to secure a premature financial resolution. Heard testified under oath. The divorce was finalized in 2017, with Depp paying Heard a settlement of $7 million, which she chose to donate to charity to make a point. The formed couple issued a joint statement where they seemed to try and bury the hatchet. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm, the statement read in part. When his ex-wife Amber Heard came forward and accused him of being violent towards her, Depp essentially became an outcast in Hollywood. He still got roles, and a lot of hate. For instance, the creators of the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them franchise were harshly criticized for hiring Depp because of the domestic abuse controversy. The Sun newspaper called him a wife-beater in their 2018 article. J.K. Rowling, the Fantastic Beasts author, issued a statement in support of the actor and was subjected to criticism herself. Depp sat for an interview with Entertainment Weekly. I was falsely accused, which is why I'm suing the Sun newspaper for defamation for repeating false accusations. J.K. Rowling has seen the evidence and therefore knows I was falsely accused. She would not stand up if she didn't know the truth. But who is telling the truth? Johnny Depp's alcohol and drug issues. According to Depp himself, he started smoking when he was 12. Drugs and alcohol followed shortly after that. Over the years, the actor has repeatedly admitted he'd poisoned himself with alcohol for years. In 2013, however, Johnny declared that he dropped the habit. The pain from his breakup with Vanessa Paradis was still fresh, but he firmly stated that he wasn't going to rely on drinking to cushion the blow, because, quote, that could have been fatal. In 2016, however, Amber Heard was of the opposite opinion. According to her, Depp binged on drugs and alcohol and plunged into the depths of paranoia and violence. 2 years after that statement, a Rolling Stone author did an in-depth interview with Depp. The journalist, in his article, claimed that the actor smoked alternately hilarious, sly, and incoherent, and smoked hashish in his presence. It was in this article that Depp famously said he was insulted by allegations that he had been spending $30,000 per month on wine, as the real amount was way larger. How did Johnny get so traumatized? In December 2018, The Washington Post published Amber Heard's op-ed. It was titled, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. And well, that was the story. She never named Depp, but spoke about the death threats she got and the blow that her career suffered following the divorce. Depp sued Heard for $50 million for defamation and submitted documents that could serve as evidence of Amber physically abusing him. She hit, punched, and kicked me. She also repeatedly and frequently threw objects into my body and head, including heavy bottles, soda cans, burning candles, television remote controls, and paint thinner cans, which severely injured me. What followed was an endless back and forth of he said, she said, although in Johnny and Amber's case, it's he hit, she hit. Remember that trip to Australia? It was around that time that Depp sustained an injury to his hand. The tip of one of his fingers was cut off. Depp says it's Amber's doing. His then-wife threw a broken vodka bottle at him as they were arguing over postnuptial papers. In a video obtained by the Daily Mail, Depp narrates that little Richard, his injured finger, bled like Vesuvius. Smiling, Depp says he has tried to get the finger back and wrap his head around what just happened. According to Heard's account, obtained by TMZ, Depp injured his finger in a fit of rage as he was slamming a hard plastic phone against a wall with his one hand and hitting her with his other hand. Depp, his ex-wife says, was high on alcohol and drugs. He was jealous of actor Billy Bob Thornton, Amber's former co-star. Johnny and Amber continue fighting. The blood-curdling incident with a severed fingertip isn't the only shocking twist in the love story gone sour. A tabloid obtained the recording of a 911 call that reported Amber and Johnny are fighting. An audio was leaked online from a therapy session the former couple attended while they were still married. Heard and Depp talk about their anger issues, and Heard allegedly confirmed she had hit her husband in the past. Court heard some of Depp's text messages, particularly those where Depp is either aggressively ranting about Heard to his friends or making promises to stop the booze thing.
With more and more shocking details about their marriage being revealed to the court, it seems like Amber and Johnny's relationship was doomed from the very beginning. The trial is said to last for about 6 weeks, and since the first 2 weeks have already been an emotional roller coaster, we can only assume that the upcoming weeks will be just the same.